there, Backward Samurai, coming at you live with a video on the Katana. Yep. Now, we're going to jump right into it. This is going to be the historical video. Now, the Katana originally evolved from a sword called the Tachi. And the Tachi was a sword designed to hang from the hip of a warrior as he was riding his horse into battle. You see, samurai used to be horsed archers. Alright? This meant that the Tachi was designed to be drawn quickly from the side of a horse while going into battle. As the samurai took on more of an infantry role, and not so much horsed archery anymore, the Tachi evolved into the Katana. Now, why does the Katana have a curve in the blade and such a fancy wrapping and guard? Well, I'm going to start with the wrappings and the guard first and then move on to the blade. But I'm just going to give a quick gist. I'm going to get into more of this during the construction. Unlike all other types of swords at the time, the Katana is actually completely disassemblable just by removing a little peg out of the handle. Take that little peg out and the whole thing can come apart. And then you can switch out like guards and grips and stuff for different occasions like weddings or parties or funerals or whatever. Now, the blade on the other hand, again, I'm going to get more into this during the construction video, but the reason why the sword has a curve in it is to actually increase its cutting power. And a few videos out there will tell you that the curve in a sword does not improve the cutting power at all. Well, pigs, that ranks right up there with pigs producing chickens. Like pigs laying eggs and chickens producing bacon. It don't sound right. The curve actually aids in the cutting process because as you pull back, not only are you pulling more of the blade in for the cut, but the curvature of the blade acts like if you were going to go slicing green onions or something. Know how you always taught to go in like this with the curve, allowing more of the blade to cut, making it easier? Well, the curve in a sword allows the blade to cut easier, which means you can generate more power, which means you get a lot more of that power transferred to the blade during the cut than you would with a simple chop. Than you would if your blade didn't have a curve in it at all. Now, the Katana actually, every piece of the Katana is practical. And again, I'm getting more into that in the construction. But as the Katana evolved, many other swords evolved from the Tachi as well. You got the Tanto, which is like a dagger. You got the Wakashaki, which is like a short sword. You got the Kodachi, which is like a Wakashaki blade and a full-length katana grip. Then you have the Chiza katana, like a short katana. Something like a two-sword stylist would use. Then you have the classic katana. Then you have the old katana, which is like an over-length version of the original katana, like the long sword of Japan, if you will. And I know you're thinking, wait, long sword of Japan? Yeah, there's also an English sword called the bastard sword, which is like a 1.5 hand sword. The classic everyday katana is like the bastard sword of Japan, but the old katana is like the long sword of Japan, or war sword, if you will. And the classic katana, it could also be considered the long sword of Japan, whichever. Then you have the Nodachi, which is like the Japanese claymore. Then you have the Odachi, which if I had an Odachi, probably wouldn't even fit in this room. I'd have to like hold it at an angle like this or something. It would not stand up straight. Those sons of bitches like 8 feet tall swords. Yeah, those things were designed to lop off an opponent's head as he rode by on a horse, okay? Those things were not made for hand-to-hand sparring or quick maneuvers like the katana was. And I'll get all into that during the construction video again. But right now, check the time. Okay. I'm going into history of the katana. Now, one little footnote. All that stuff that katanas can slice through gun barrels and can cut the tiniest petal off of a rose with a single slice. Yeah, that's bull. A sword can't do anything without a master wielding it. Look what happens when I just let the sword go. See, it falls down. It can't do anything without the sword master holding on to the blade. And yes, some people are so good with swords that they could draw slash. Some samurai are so good with a sword they could draw slash cherry tomatoes out of thin air, out of midair, or cut a rose in half, or cut rose petals in half while they're still on the rose, and not destroy the entire rose. But it also depends on how sharp your sword is. Yes, believe it or not, Japanese swords are polished to a mere shine and are regarded as the sharpest swords ever created. That's because it takes 6 months to sharpen one of these things. And yeah, I know, the English had that pedal thing where they could just have those huge pedaling grindstones where they can speed up the process going mack, 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 mack. But the Japanese had to go like semi-leg with a sharpening stone. They had to go like this to get the blade sharp. That took 6 months, people. So one sword would take an entire year to forge and sharpen, all combined. 6 months for the forging, 6 months for the sharpening. Then you had to wait more. You had to wait even longer because you had to get the sword wrap, the sword guards, and all that stuff fitted on. Then you had to get the saya carved. Then you had to get the saya lacquered and all that stuff. Then you had to wait for it to be presented to you by the swordsmith. And then you had to go and take it out and test it and find someone and kill them, because there's an old bullshit legend that whenever you get a new katana, it thirsts for blood. Yeah. That legend came around because generally whenever someone was given a new sword, they tested it out on the arms of convicted criminals. Yeah. Ancient Japan, people used to get their arms lopped off just for touching another samurai sword. If you were a peasant and you touched the sword of a samurai without the samurai saying you could, or a servant, bam! Bam! You got your arm lopped off, or your hand, or if you're lucky, and the samurai didn't mind or was merciful, you just get a finger or two lopped off. But convicted criminals, like who stole stuff, got their whole arms taken off in one swing. Yeah, the sharpness of a katana, no joke. There have been historical records of people getting cut completely in half by a katana. Don't forget, people, for the better part of 1,000 years, The samurai trained for one thing and one thing only: war and battle. And their swords reflected on how seriously they took their fighting power. Swords were used to be judged on the one-man principle. How many men they could lop through in one battle. Because I believe in some tests, convicts content of the most serious of crimes would have their arms lopped off. And 5-man swords were considered exemplary people. A 5-man sword was said to be so strong and so powerful that it could cut through 5 men without even dulling. I would love a sword that could do crap like that. I'd use it to split wood. But besides the point, I'd put blades through hell and back. But that's not important right now. The point of this is historical. And, as such, the katana has had so many different myths and legends. But there is one thing I will say. The legend of a samurai is supposed to end a duel in one quick slash. Or one quick move. Yeah, this isn't bull. Because the samurai developed an entire quick draw technique sword style that involved drawing the sword from the hip, cutting your opponent in half in one swing. And thus, the one slash, one kill legend was born. But, again, I'm not much for all that. And I know I've been rambling for a while now, but until next time, Backwoods Samurai tell all y'all, be crazy rednecks and be safe when using your weapons. I'm out. Peace! Thank you, guys. I had good luck with this thing earlier. It won't stop.